Greetings, fellow warriors, theorists, and enthusiasts. It is I, Cloverfirst, the niftiest warrior, and you should probably know about my undying love and support for my baby Thistleclaw. I know it's weird that I can love such a baddie like him, but I truly think he was just misunderstood, or something along those lines. But without further delay, here comes the video you actually clicked. It's unbiased as I could possibly make it glory. The moment Thistleclaw was introduced, he was acting as if he was the most gifted kitten in the whole forest, and when Snowpaw offers to teach him every battle move she learns, he claims that he is already better than her at fighting despite having no battle training whatsoever. This conceited behavior is very annoying, but I think we can easily dismiss it because he was too young to have a realistic view of the world. This also applies with Thistlecat thinking he can become an apprentice before 6 moons. When the battle with WindClan happens, Thistleclaw wants to be a part of the fight. The explanation for this is that he has never actually fought in a battle and so doesn't know how hazardous and heartbreaking it can be sometimes. He probably thinks that it is some kind of game. The last kithood experience, important enough to mention, is the time he assured his sisters that it was okay to go outside in the windy weather. Poppy Dawn, their mother, wanted the kittens to play outside, but Rose Kit and Sweetheart were afraid of the wind. So Thistleclaw told them he would make sure they wouldn't fly away. This scene shows how loyal he is to his family. The way he comforts and assures his sisters is proof of that. Do you remember how I said that his arrogance as a young kitten didn't matter because he was a kitten? Well, that doesn't apply here, because he kinda keeps the family-oriented trait throughout his whole life, while with the vainness, he kinda retards that a bit. Are we good? Okay, apprentice time now. Thistleclaw and his sisters become paws, and Ironfang is his mentor. During this time, Thistlepaw starts developing a big crush for Snowpaw, who develops feelings back. She is one of the only cats who can see past his arrogance. Bluepaw, Snowpaw's sister, is disgusted at Snowpaw caring for him. Thistlepaw trains with his mentor Adderfang and soon develops a personality not unlike him. He starts liking defending his clan more, and he also starts being more aggressive and being more eager to fight. One day, Thistlepaw is assigned a patrol with Bluepaw, now Bluefur, who is also leading it. Thistlepaw is annoyed that Bluefur is the one leading the patrol, and so he gets himself in trouble, and he's even more annoyed when he is put on guard duty. He wants to hunt, so he gives Bluefur fake warnings, like a dog is coming, and until an actual dog comes, and he fights it off all by himself and gets his warrior named Thistleclaw. As soon as he's a warrior, he becomes mates with Snowfur. He loves Snowfur and was devoted to her. It was a deep case of young love through and through, and keep in mind Bluefur still disapproved of this relationship very much. Bluefur was disgusted at the notion of her sister being with the cat she hated most. If you don't believe me about him being so family-oriented, take a gander at this juncture. When Sweetpaw dies due to food poisoning, he's seen grieving very hard, defending her dead body from anybody who gets near, and insisting on burying her himself. Snowfur was the first to point this out, by saying how much of a good protective brother he was. Maybe that is the reason Snowfur fell for him. When Snowfur gets pregnant, he's overjoyed at the prospect of children, and when the kitten is finally born, he supports her through the whole ordeal, and when it's over, he kindly lets her name the kit whatever she wants. She names the kit White Kit. Soon after White Kit is born, Snowfur is sadly hit by a monster on the Thunderpath while chasing ShadowClan warriors out of ThunderClan territory. Thistleclaw, blinded by grief, yells at Bluefur for getting her sister killed, saying she shouldn't have been brought out of camp so soon after having White Kit. His distress is understandable, because Snowfur was his everything, the love of his life, the cat he trusted and loved most, and now she was dead. Of course it wasn't Bluefur's fault, but he was greatly sorrowed by her loss and never ended up recovering from the bereavement. Because of his vulnerability, he was targeted by the Dark Forest for training. Thistleclaw wanted to become the greatest warrior he could be before he met the Dark Forest. The Dark Forest just encouraged this ambition. They tricked him just as the Dark Forest tricks all their other trainees, only Thistleclaw was just the most broken. He begins to train in the hopes of being chosen as deputy someday. Thistleclaw soon develops a hatred for the other clans, and he becomes very paranoid, saying that he's willing to mark the borders with their enemy's own blood if he has to. He also attacks any trespasser with nothing but malice. For example, he attacked Oakheart so violently that Bluefur had to practically pull him off. Thistleclaw then questions her loyalty because she defended a trespasser. In Crooked Star's promise, he is seen training brutally in the dark forest with his mentor, Silverhawk, and learning the dangerous move called the Killing Bite. And when Silverhawk asks if he misses his mate Snowfur, Thistleclaw replies only that she shouldn't have died. This doesn't reveal anything. It was quite obvious that he didn't want to talk about her death, that he was very reserved about his feelings. Thistleclaw also says that his son Whitecat has no fire in his belly and he is soft like his mother. I do admit that this could be interpreted as he didn't care about his son or his late mate, but that is not true. After Snowfur died, Thistleclaw was very protective of Whitekit because he was the closest thing he had to Snowfur. Whitekit was also one of the only family members he had left. Thistleclaw believed Bluefur was soft towards intruders from other clans and kitty pets. In his mind, nothing Bluefur did could be good. He didn't want Bluefur anywhere near his son in fear that it would make him soft, and being soft means that you are vulnerable. This is why he trained Whitekit battle moves. He didn't want the same thing that happened to Snowfur to happen to him. He also probably didn't want the cat he thought got Snowfur killed near his offspring. Bluefur believes that it's dangerous for Whitekit to be around Thistleclaw. She doesn't want Whitekit to turn out like his father, bitter and cold. So she raises Whitekit herself despite Thistleclaw's many warnings and threats. Oh yeah, forgot to mention he threatened her. Yeah, that happened. Moving on, Thistleclaw, only a few moons after Snowfur's death, earned the apprentice Tigerpaw, who would later become the cruel Tiger Star. A lot of people blame Thistleclaw for Tigerpaw becoming evil, but it's just not that simple. Tigerpaw developed these feelings on his own after his father Pinestar left ThunderClan to become a kitty pet. Tigerpaw, when a kid, was treated like he was the best kitten in the whole world by his mother Leopardfoot. His mom was very protective of him because he was her only surviving child. She thought he could do no wrong. This parenting method is not a good way to teach your children right and wrong, because if they never get into trouble, they will probably develop an exaggerated image of themselves. Thistleclaw just nurtured the young Tom's ego and ambitions through harsh battle training, and through teaching him of his callous view of outsiders. This training made Tigerpaw strong, and in turn empowered him to do whatever he so pleased. Well, not everything he pleased. One time at a gathering, Tigerpaw wanted to join in a battle between some other apprentices, and Thistleclaw had to practically sit on top of him to make him stop. This means that not even Tigerpaw's mentor, the cat he looked up to the most, had complete control of him. That means something, right? Thistleclaw would have trained any apprentice like that. It wasn't anyone's fault that it was Tigerpaw who was apprenticed to him. The next thing that happens is Spotted Leaf's heart, but that is disgusting as hell, and many of us think it is non-canonical. It is really controversial and just terribly written. In this story, Thistleclaw is a child predator preying on Spotted Paw. Let's just admit this book was only written to give a real reason for Thistleclaw being in the dark forest, and the reason isn't even that good. The reason is that he's a pedophile murderer, and I don't mean a murderer of pedophiles. If this novella only existed to calm down fans, then why didn't they just write a Thistleclaw novella? And also, how is this the best they could come up with? How? Why? What? Moving on. Thistleclaw is now a highly regarded, very important senior warrior. He has many admirers and cats that look up to him, but no actual friends. This may be because the concept of a hardy, no-nonsense, badass important guy sounds better than the real deal, who is bitter and unfriendly because of its mate's death. Thistleclaw wants to become the next deputy of ThunderClan, and eventually leader. He's had this ambition probably ever since he was young, and it doesn't seem too far-fetched for Sunstar to pick him. He's popular among the warriors and is great within battle. Sunstar ends up picking Thistleclaw's rival, Bluestar, instead because he doesn't want ThunderClan being led into countless battles by Thistleclaw. Thistleclaw is furious when Bluestar is picked over him, and is even more furious when Bluestar becomes Bluestar and makes an unexperienced Redtail her deputy. Redtail had never even had an apprentice, which breaks the warrior code, and was much younger than him. I don't know when Bluestar became leader, and I don't know when exactly Adderfang died, but I think he would have made a good deputy. Adderfang was a dutiful warrior of ThunderClan and served them for many moons. Surely he was a better choice. But anyhoozle, Thistleclaw keeps on being a well-respected hostile warrior right up until his death. He was killed by the Sunning Rocks after taking on a patrol twice his size. It is said by Bluestar that he died the way he lived, which makes sense. He was just a strong warrior that had grown very paranoid and heartless to outsiders because his mate died. He was only grieving, and the fact that he had no support system made it worse. He kept his feelings close and never showed his real emotions after her death because he didn't want to seem weak. He developed this dangerous behavior on his own and with the help of the Dark Force. He wasn't evil, and even if he was, he didn't act on it, so it doesn't count. He could have killed Bluestar while she was still deputy, but he didn't. That means something. He had at least an ounce of morals if he didn't kill anyone. He was just doing what he thought was best for his clan, and even Bluestar herself admitted that Thistleclaw was an important warrior, and that it was hard at first to live without him. If Thistleclaw didn't go to StarClan for being cruel, then wouldn't he at least get in for consistently being diligent and loyal? He just deserved to be reunited with Snowfur. Just totally unfair and cruel that he didn't get to be with her in the afterlife. Just would Thistleclaw being in StarClan really be that bad? Would it have killed you to put him where he belonged? I've been saying this for a while, even before Spotted Leaf's stupid heart. But Thistleclaw really deserves his own official novella. I will never accept Spotted Leaf's heart as in anything. Thistleclaw didn't deserve the Dark Forest, and I will keep on saying it until you give us a real reason why he is there. And training there doesn't count. He really needs some closure. I would like to know how he reacted to being sent to the Dark Forest, and why he actually went there, and how he changed over time, and exactly what's going through his head at this time. I just really like Thistleclaw. He's one of my favorite characters, and it doesn't make sense how Mudclaw is kicking it in StarClan, while Thistleclaw suffers for eternity. They were basically the same person, and Thistleclaw never started a rebellion. Oh look, it's time to end this video. So thanks for watching, and make sure to have a great rest of the day.